The Sparrow and the Broken Wing. The sun dipped low behind the horizon, casting a warm golden glow over the meadow. Birds sang their evening songs, their wings slicing through the air in perfect harmony. But there, in the shadows of a tree, one small sparrow perched alone, its wing hanging limp by its side. It had once soared through the sky with effortless grace, but now, the flight that once came so naturally seemed impossible. This sparrow wasn't always broken. Just days ago, it had been the fastest flyer in its flock, darting through the air like a whisper on the wind. It had reveled in the freedom of the open skies, feeling the wind beneath its wings, the rush of flight that made the world seem endless. But a cruel twist of fate had changed everything. A hunting hawk's talon had found its mark, leaving the sparrow with a wing that no longer worked as it should. Now it faced the hardest challenge of its life. Not just survival, but the struggle to take flight once more. Every day it watched the other birds take to the skies, and every day its heart ached as it remained earthbound. It tried to flap its wings, but the pain was too great. It felt weak, small, useless. The meadow, which had once felt so vast and free, now felt like a prison. And yet, as the days wore on, something deep within the sparrow stirred, a flicker of something it couldn't quite name. One morning, as the first rays of sunlight pierced through the clouds, the sparrow sat beneath the tree and gazed at the horizon. It could hear the calls of its fellow birds, the beat of their wings echoing in the distance. The urge to fly, to escape the confines of the earth, was stronger than ever. But it could no longer ignore the bitter truth. It couldn't fly with just one wing. Or could it? It was then that a thought struck like a bolt of lightning. What if strength wasn't only found in perfection? What if, just maybe, strength could be forged in the very place where weakness had taken root? The sparrow stretched its good wing, wincing at the sharp pain that shot through its broken one. It could feel its pulse racing, its heart pounding with both fear and determination. The sky was calling, and it would answer. Not with perfection, but with courage. With trembling legs, the sparrow hopped onto the edge of the tree branch, its heart thundering in its chest. For a moment it hesitated. The wind rushed around it, the world below feeling both distant and overwhelming. But then, with a deep breath, the sparrow pushed off the branch and into the air. At first it wobbled, its broken wing dragging it down, but the sparrow refused to stop. Each beat of its good wing sent it higher, and though the pain in its broken wing threatened to bring it back to earth, it kept going. The wind howled in its ears, the world spinning around it. But with every shaky beat of its wings, it rose higher and higher. And then, something miraculous happened. The pain began to fade, not because it was gone, but because the sparrow had learned to fly through it. Its broken wing, once a symbol of its weakness, now felt like a badge of honor. It was a reminder of what it had endured and what it had overcome. By the time the sparrow reached the highest point of its flight, the sky stretched out before it like an endless sea of possibilities. It wasn't perfect, but it was free. And that, the sparrow realized, was enough. As the sun set behind the mountains, the sparrow circled back toward the tree. Its wings were tired, its body exhausted, but its heart was light. It had flown, not in spite of its broken wing, but because of it. The sparrow landed softly on the branch, its heart full of a quiet pride. It had learned something that day. Strength wasn't just about how high you could fly, or how fast you could go. It was about finding a way to keep going, even when the world told you to stop. And so the sparrow sat there, the last rays of the sun warming its feathers, knowing that the journey had only just begun. Because sometimes, the broken parts of you can make you stronger than you ever imagined. If you enjoyed this story, please like, share, and subscribe to help the channel grow.